All right. So we'll get started. I'm glad that all of you are here. I really appreciate all of your support. Tonight's workshop is very important if you're trying to earn a reliable online income because things are changing online and you have a choice to make. And I want to help you make the right choice. You probably remember what drove you to start exploring making an online income in the first place. Usually it was either the pain of not having enough money or the pain of what you had to do at work to earn the offline income that you had. Uh, you knew there had to be a better way. We all knew that. So you came online with all the promise and the excitement of a newborn baby wanting to explore the online world and find all those riches that everyone promised were just lying around everywhere. However, I'm sure it didn't prove to be that easy. It certainly didn't with me. And many of you who did experience success found it to be fleeting because the technology is constantly changing and the market and competition is constantly changing around us. So the reality is that the world has changed and that everyone has had to step up their game in order to compete. It's harder than ever for the newbies to compete with the pros. There's even more distractions to lead you down wrong paths at a time when you really need to focus on the key things that help you to be successful. Slides. That's why we're here tonight. I want to explain to you why, in the current internet climate, you have to make a choice about which of the two paths you want to follow online. Both are valid choices, but how you are successful at one does not translate into the other. So I'm going to teach you the difference between the two paths and the strategies you need to supercharge your success in either one. Then I'm going to show you how you can get more help on either path. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to answer all your questions and give you a chance to get my notes, worksheets, slides. So make sure you stick around to the end. So many of you already know who I am, pretty much everybody, I think. But for the benefit of those who may not, I'll give you a brief introduction. My name is Matthew Graves, and I've been working in online marketing since launching thegolfchannel.com back in the late 90s. I started my own company in 2001, and we have launched over 20 websites that help work-at-home entrepreneurs get traffic to their websites. By 2004, I was doing well enough with my business to quit my last job. And I always say I plan on making sure that it stays my last job by continually figuring out what it takes to be successful online. And as of next week, it is 15 years and counting. By 2015, I started a coaching and consulting company called Quick Start Coach. And now we work closely with both home-based marketers and large marketing companies and influencers. So I think that's enough about me. Let's talk about your online business. So I've been coaching both formally and informally online entrepreneurs for almost 20 years, and I've really seen it all. However, over the last couple of years, I've seen a shift. Building a successful online business used to be a question of just finding a compelling offer, sending some traffic to it, and then making commissions. It just isn't that simple anymore. Good quality traffic has gotten more expensive, and free traffic has gotten harder to get. With both types of traffic, conversions are harder to get, meaning that your cost per lead or your cost per customer is rising. For paid traffic, that cost, of course, is measured in dollars. And for free traffic, the cost is measured in hours of your time. So since it's costing more to get every prospect and customer, that means you need to be making more sales to offset that increased cost. It's hard to cover the cost of traffic if you're just trying to sell a single product. That's where the sales funnel comes in. So with a funnel, you can sell them multiple products, and that increases the amount of sales from every customer. Of course, you can also do that by building a relationship with them via email and selling them more products over time. So let's say you're running paid advertising and it costs $5 to get one person to opt into your funnel. If one out of three prospects buy the first offer, then your cost per paying customer is $15, three times $5. You need to make more than $15 on that first product just to break even on the advertising costs. Funnels and email sequences help to offset that because you can keep trying to sell the other two prospects that didn't take the first offer, and you can try to sell the one buyer even more stuff. This approach works if you learn how to run advertising, create sales pages, funnel sequences, set up an autoresponder, write compelling emails that encourage people to buy, and tie all those pieces together into a seamless whole. So imagine now the beginner coming online and having to do all of that just to get to the point of making a profit. It's a little bit overwhelming. But sometimes that's what it takes to succeed online today. You're competing with the pros, so you have to be able to perform like a pro. You have to have some of these more advanced marketing tactics and strategies down just to get to the point where you can make a buck. And that's just the reality of the world today. Now, that warning being given, I just want to tell you that every single one of you on this call today is totally capable of learning to do all of those things. I'm certainly not trying to scare anyone away who wants to build a true online business. I think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it's what has been putting the sliced bread in the cupboard at my house for the last 15 years. So obviously, I think it's great. I just want you to know what the expectations will be. Learning to do all of that, plus the marketing and sales, is going to take some time and require you to have a certain commitment. That is just what running an online business is like in today's world. But you are totally capable of doing it if you choose. It isn't just promote and reel in the cash anymore. You have to know and do a lot more to make a buck. Like I said, ultimately, as an entrepreneur, your biggest job is to figure it out. Whatever needs solving, you can come up with a solution. Now, I also know from speaking to thousands of people to who are trying to earn an income online that many people just don't want that. Sirens? Really? I don't know if you can hear that, but I'll let them pass. Okay. All right. So many people don't want the complexity of a full online business. They don't want to have to figure it out. They don't want to figure out all those moving pieces that make an online business work today. That's why I sometimes say a lot of people who come online want an online job, not an online business. What's the difference between the two? With an online business, you're the leader. You control everything and you have to figure everything out. You need to become an expert at a lot of different disciplines. You may eventually have people working for you, either as employees or as affiliates, helping to sell your products. With an online job, you're looking to fill a particular role in an existing business or opportunity. You don't want to design the machine, you just want to be a part of it. You want people to help teach you to do your part to the best of your abilities, and then, of course, get paid for those efforts. It's like the difference between starting a company or working for one. Now, neither of these options are right or wrong. They're roles for people who seek either path. The important part is that you choose what you want and then act accordingly. Because what's happening to so many people today is they act like they have an online job, but they're actually on the path of an online business. And this leads to a lot of frustration and no results. Imagine that you started your own business offline and then acted like an employee and not an owner. You didn't figure out things out that needed fixing. You didn't work on getting better at attracting customers. When the business was going downhill, you just showed up for work every day, put in the hours, and then went home and watched Netflix. Do you really think that that business would be successful? Of course not. Someone has to be responsible and do whatever it takes to make the business successful. If things aren't working, then they have to figure it out and figure out how to make it work. So you have a choice to make. Do you want to take on the responsibility and commitment to run your own online business where you set the rules and have to do whatever it takes? Or do you want a less demanding role in an existing business model that you'll still have to work hard for, but the products, rules, and procedures are a little more defined? Again, like I said before, there's no right or wrong answer. It's coming to an understanding with yourself about what you're willing to do in order to make money from home. You have to have a good self awareness of how much you're willing to put into the business. Because if you're not willing to, as I say, make the business at least number two in your life, in your priorities, then you won't be successful with building an online business because it takes that kind of dedication, especially at the beginning. Family can be number one, but the business needs to be number two. So you want to make sure that you're fully committed to that. If you're not, then maybe an online job sort of model, which I'll explain in a minute, might be more up your alley. So if you can find the chat button in Zoom now that I've turned on the slides, go ahead and put your answer into the chat. Let me know which business model you think is right for you. And I will find it so I can see your answers. Let's go Zoom. Oh, lost my slides there for a minute. Chat's a little harder to find when you are when you got the screen share on. So Jeff says owner, Michael says business. Yep. And it was like last night. I didn't have anybody who said they wanted an online job. But there are a lot of people out there who that's really what they want. They may think they want an online business, but they don't really want to commit to it. And of course, there's a lot of people in some different business models, which are essentially online jobs, which we'll talk about in a minute. All right. Ronald says business. So that's great. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the online business model personally. So I'm always happy to be talking to other people who want the crazy chaos, but amazing freedom that comes with running your own online business. Tom says business. Marin says business. Eugene says business. All right, great. Well, we're going to talk about both because I want everybody to see everything related to each. So let's go ahead and we'll talk about each of them a little bit more detail and specifically what the key skills and strategies you need to master to be successful for each one. So we'll start where everybody said with the online business model. So there's a lot of different variations for creating your own online business. So I can't go into every nuance of every possible online business you could run, like Amazon, fulfilled by Amazon, or writing ebooks, or etc. But a lot of the things are common between the different ones. And we're going to talk about one model in particular, just as an example. So, the online business model that I've been coaching people in for the last couple of years is primarily what we call the audience model. With an audience business, your goal is to create an audience of people in a particular niche that know, like, and trust you. You help them along their journey to accomplish a goal, and along the way, you recommend the products and services they need. You're their guide. You earn from the affiliate revenue on your recommendations, and you can also expand into teaching or coaching or even creating your own products to serve your audience. To be successful in this business model, there are a few key skills that you need to develop, and your success will depend on how good you get at these things. So, the first of those things is traffic generation and marketing. You need to be able to go out on the internet, figure out where the prospects are already spending their time, target them with marketing designed to attract them towards you, and then connect with them, usually by getting them onto your email list or engaging with you in social media or both. You have to be able to go out and get strangers to be interested in what you have to say. That's what traffic generation and marketing is all about. So you need to work on getting better at that. The second thing is you have to get good at running your email autoresponder and copywriting those emails. So once people have connected with you, you have to be communicating with them, preferably multiple times a week with emails or social media content that's going to build a relationship with them. Always remember, the money is not in the list. The money is in the relationship with the list. So you need to be able to write emails that are going to help and guide your audience, as well as educate them and motivate them to want to do business with you. It's all about the relationship. It doesn't matter how many people you have on your list, it matters how many people are listening. So small lists can generate a big income if that list is truly engaged with you. So the way you do that is by knowing how to communicate with them and help them along their journey via usually email. But of course, there are people who run their whole businesses also based on building followings in Facebook or Instagram as well. But you still have to be able to create content that gets people connected with you in their hearts. And that is a skill that you can and need to develop. So the next skill is you have to get good at sales and persuasion. You need to know how to work into your communication those paid offers and structure the offers in a way that they're irresistible. You need to know what actually makes people take action and the different kind of tools, or as Robert Cialdini calls them, the weapons of influence that you can use in order to get people to take actions that you want them to take, whether it be joining a site, whether it be clicking a link, or whether it be buying a product. So that requires learning about all of those things and about sales copy. Now, there's tons of great books and courses that can teach you that. So it's totally learnable. None of these things are talents that people are born with. They are all things that people develop through focused learning on these key skills. So, those three things, sales and persuasion, email autoresponders and copywriting, and traffic generation and marketing, form the core of the audience business. It brings the people in, it gets them connected with you, and then it allows you to be able to actually motivate them to take action. So, those are three things that how good you are at those three things will determine the amount of money that you make in an audience model business. And of course, I've been pushing audience model businesses for quite some time because I've been telling people build a list, build a list, build a list, know, like, and trust. over and over and over again. And that's because it works. The reality is people don't buy from strangers anymore. You have to be able to take strangers, turn them into friends, and then turn friends into customers. So I have these conversations all the time with people who schedule, free initial coaching calls with me or hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I had a long one last night after the webinar with someone who was trying to sell things to strangers and wondering why they weren't getting any results. And they, of course, were blaming the traffic. Well, it's not the traffic, it's the fact that you're trying to promote something that isn't compelling. You're trying to convince people to sign up for something that, first of all, they probably don't really want. And second of all, they're going to have to pay for. And they don't know you, like you, or trust you. So they're not going to take that leap. So you have to be able to build these skills. And of course, those skills are important in not just the audience model, but really any business model. So now, like I also said, there is kind of one optional thing you can do too, and that is learn about product creation. So to really take your income from an audience business to the next level, you really want to learn how to create products of your own that your audience can purchase. So they may be online courses or coaching or membership sites, but when you create your own products, you multiply your ability to earn. Obviously, that's a skill you have to learn and you have to figure out. Um, so, depending on what other types of businesses you might start, there's some other skills you might need to get good at. So, for example, if you want to run membership websites like I do, 22 of them right now, then you need to get more technical skills in place to properly take advantage of that opportunity. If you look at the exchange world, for example, over the last 5 years, really since the beginning 20 years ago, um, it's been the owners who either had technical ability, they had the ability to be able to program or knew how the technology worked, or someone on the team knew that, who really were able to take a leadership role because they were able to customize their sites to make them unique, to be able to add features, and to be able to, not just be a plain vanilla exchange. So that's a skill that if you want to build a technical based membership site, you need to have somebody on the team who has some technical skills and ability to do that. You don't want to have to hire a programmer or rely on somebody in India to fix your website whenever it breaks. So that's something you want to keep in mind if you want to go that route. Now, let's talk about something that I don't talk about very often. And it's not really because I don't like this business model or because I don't think that this business model is a workable business model. It's just not one that many of the people that I talk to are that interested in. But I do think that there is a certain segment of the people that we deal with in the exchange world all the time that this really would be a better option for them if they wanted to get success. And that, of course, is the idea of having an online job. So when I talk about online jobs, I'm not really talking about something like a traditional job where you get paid a salary or you get paid by the hour. There are freelancers who do freelance work and etc., and they get paid in that way, but that's not really what I'm talking about. The kind of job I'm talking about is one where you're going to get paid for the results that you generate. So many are like being a commission salesperson, but for a single opportunity. So the best example that I can use for this for people to understand is the whole network marketing model as the idea of an online job. So if you join an established network marketing company, then you have one part to play in the operation. Your job is to sign up more reps for the business opportunity side and sell the products on the retail side. You are not responsible for building their website, deciding what products the company should sell, figuring out the finance and accounting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have one job: just bring in new reps and sell the products. They handle everything else. That's why it's not an online business, because you don't have complete freedom over the entire business model. So you just have to connect with people, see if they're interested, present the opportunity or the products, and take the orders. Once you have a team under you, then you also need to help your team to be able to do the same things that you're doing to help them be successful. Because when they're successful, you're successful. Once you build a big enough team underneath you, you probably will stop selling the products and recruiting new reps, because you'll just be spending all of your time helping your team do that. So, just to be clear, I just want to be absolutely clear on this. If you're trying to sell a whole variety of products of whatever seems hot on ClickBank or JVZoo, that's not an online job. That's an online business, because you have to figure everything out. You have to figure out which products to promote, how to market them, the messaging in the emails, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's an online job. If you want to promote a whole variety of products from a variety of vendors, then go with the audience model. Get a group of people who know, like, and trust you, and then promote the products to them. That's not an online job, it's an online business. So let's just be clear about that. So if you do want an online job, then what does it take to be successful if you're promoting a single opportunity? Okay, so let's go. We're going to go through five things to be successful in an online job or a network marketing business. So, the first and most important part is you have to choose the opportunity well. They say that the biggest factor in your happiness as a person is who you choose to be your spouse or partner. And I absolutely believe that. And your biggest factor in the success in a network marketing business is the business that you choose to be a part of. So you want to look for an opportunity that has a long track record. There's a new network marketing opportunity starting every single hour. And you might think that the smart thing to do is to get in early with something that looks like it might be hot. But actually, that's not a good idea if you're looking for an online job. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is most new network marketing businesses are not here a year from now. So you do not want to devote all of your energy for the next year into something only to have it fold. New network marketing businesses also go through a lot of chaos. Business models change, products change, compensation plans change while they're trying to figure out what works for them. That chaos is not good for somebody who wants an online job. That's like an online business. And that's why you'll find that with these new startup network marketing opportunities, usually the people who rise to the top in that first year are online business people, not people who are looking for an online job and the structure of that. If you look at Now Lifestyle as an example, obviously, that was an extension of a network marketing opportunity that had been going for a long time. But look at who the leaders were in Now Lifestyle in the first year. And it was people who had built established audience businesses like Janet Legier, who rose to the top because they had a group of people that they could bring in and they could deal with the chaos and the fact that everything wasn't all absolutely 100% ironed out, and they could play a part in that. But if you want an online job, then you want something that is established and it's been there for a while. So that's something to look out for. The other thing is that you want to pick a company that has a product in an area that you're already passionate about. So that makes all the learning and the work easier if you're very interested already in whatever niche this product is in. If you like health and fitness, maybe a supplement business, or some form of health-based business would be the right online job for you. Because ideally they say build a business around something that you do for free. And that certainly applies to this. You also want to have a company that has a proven track record of cultivating leaders that make what you want to earn. If everybody in the company makes $20,000 a year and you want to make $200,000 a year, then that's probably not a good company for you. You also want to see a company that is on the rise. So you don't want to be brand new, but you want it to be growing because you want there to be lots of new people coming in the bottom and you want to see people moving their way up the ranks because that's what you're going to want to do. So you don't want something that the people that are at the top are stuck there, nobody is moving up, and it's really hard to get new people in. You want something that has a lot of interest in it already. So essentially, you want an established company with a product that you love and that has a that is on the rise. So that's the first thing. Pick your company well. Second, within that company, you want to find a leader who's going to help you that is already making the money that you want to make. So once you pick the company you want to be a part of, you don't just join right away. You want to make sure that you find someone who's going to mentor you and you want to join under them or in whatever place in the tree they want you to join. uh, Having the support of a successful mentor is essential because they are going to show you the ropes in the opportunity. I don't, I can't even count the number of people that I've spoken with who've said, well, I joined this opportunity thinking that this guy who I was joining under was going to lead me along the way, and then he disappeared or he quit and he's no longer in the business anymore, or I couldn't get in touch with him and I couldn't get any help whatsoever to help understand the opportunity. That's not the position you want to be in. So you want to pick who you're going to be under and select that as carefully as you selected the opportunity in the first place. You want to also make sure that the person that you join under is actually having success. You want to make sure they're not just talking the talk, but they're actually getting results. You want somebody who's making sales, not somebody who's essentially at the same position you are. So make sure that you watch out for that as well. Get under the right person in the company. Then, and this is a weird thing to say coming from an entrepreneur, since us as entrepreneurs love to break rules. Um, with an opportunity like this in an online job, it's very important that you learn to follow the rules before you break them. I'm not saying you don't have the ability to be able to come up with ideas and go out on your own and potentially come up with new ways to do things. I think that the people who truly rise to the top reach a point where they have to do that to keep going and they really show their own unique abilities. But at the beginning, you want to make sure that you're doing what your leader, who you joined under, is telling you you need to do to be successful. Do exactly what they tell you to do. So ask them, what are the most important things that you can do to be successful quickly? If they tell you that you have to cold call 100 people a day, then you do it. If they tell you to stand on the street and hand out business cards, then you do it. If they tell you to go to networking events and schmooze with all the people there, then you do it. You have to learn to have some success with the systems that are in place before you start to go out on your own and come up with new ideas and new systems. You want to learn the ropes of the way they teach it and actually make some sales and some signups using their systems so that you fully understand it. With that knowledge, now you have the ability to be able to innovate. But until you can do that, you don't understand the opportunity well enough. It's the same reason why beginning chefs work literally for years doing things like peeling vegetables before they ever end up in front of a stove. It's because they're there and they're learning and they're assimilating and they're watching the chefs work and they're learning the systems of how a commercial kitchen works while they're there. You need to do the same thing. So do what they say, follow the rules exactly until you actually get success, then start to innovate. Okay. So that's very important with the network marketing opportunity. The next thing you need to do is you have to become an expert on the product and on the compensation plan of the opportunity. You would probably be surprised at the number of people that I speak with on the phone who say they're in a network marketing opportunity, who I then say, tell me how the comp plan works, and they don't have a clue. They may know they get 20% commission on the products they sell, but they certainly cannot tell you about how the forced matrix or the two up or the single line or whatever that works and how they would make money in that. It's very important that you know this stuff for a couple of reasons. One is if you don't know the product inside and out and you don't know the compensation plan inside and out, how do you ever expect to be confident to sell the product to a customer? Your lack of knowledge is going to come across to them that you don't really know what you're talking about and they are not going to buy. So that's one very important thing. The other thing, especially with the compensation plan, is if you don't understand the compensation plan, you don't know the things you need to be focused on that's going to make you big money in the long term. So, in a lot of network marketing opportunities, you're building like maybe what they call binary system, where you're building two legs of people underneath you, two groups of people underneath you. Well, with some systems, the best idea for you is to put everybody in a single leg and let the other leg kind of build out naturally. The other one, it might be put everybody on the left or everybody on the right. If you don't know how your compensation plan works, then you can't maximize these kind of things to make sure that you make the most money possible off your network marketing opportunity. So study it until you're an expert. If you have any questions, of course, that's why you chose to be under a good leader. So you would have a mentor to help teach you that. But make sure you are very confident in your knowledge of both product and opportunity. Then the other thing you need to do is you have to commit to work it hard for at least 12 months. So there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There always is, especially in the first year. If you're confident in the program you chose, and if you're not confident, why did you choose it? We went through that one in the first one. Then commit to work that opportunity for the next 12 months uninterrupted. I like an analogy that I heard recently that kind of describes this. And this, of course, equally applies to those of you who want to build an online business. But if you put microwave popcorn in the microwave, it normally takes about 3 minutes or so to pop up and be ready to eat. If instead you put it in for 15 seconds and then you took it out for 15 seconds and then you put it in for 15 seconds and then you took it out for 15 seconds, what you would find is that it would never, ever pop. No matter how many cycles you go through, it's never going to get hot enough to pop those kernels. And it is exactly the same in your either online business or in your online job or opportunity. If you work at it and then you take a break and then you work at it but you're not getting the results, so you promote something else for a while and then you work at it a little and then you get disgusted because you're not getting results, so you take a month break and then you come back and you work at it again. What happens? Nothing. Nothing. You never get anywhere because every time you stop, you slide backwards to where you started. Just like the popcorn, every time you stop, it cools back down, so it never gets hot enough to pop. well, your business is never going to get hot enough to be successful. It's the exact same thing with an online business or with an opportunity that you're promoting, like an online job. So you have to commit that you're going to work it for 12 months straight without stopping. You don't sign up for anything else. You don't promote anything else. You don't take any breaks for 12 months straight. And if you do that, then you have a good chance of getting your business going to the point where you're actually making money. The next thing is start out with intense energy for that first 90 days. So you've signed up, you're under the leader. The leader's told you, here's what you need to do to be successful in this. You've learned all about the opportunity. Commit 90 days to just go nuts. Okay. Work it very hard for those first 90 days, at least. Eliminate everything else in your life that stands in the way that is not absolutely essential. Don't read the news. Don't watch TV. Don't take weekends off. Just put it all into the business. Whatever they tell you, you should call 50 people a day, call 150. Push it hard for that first 90 days. Act like you got a gun to your head. You either work hard and be successful or else. If you do that, that really heats that microwave. That really gets you off to that running start. That is absolutely essential with an online job. Of course, it's also essential with an online business. But with an online business, you always have to remember you're playing the long game. An online business is not going to be built and be super successful in 3 months. You can do 90 days of intense activity, and that's a great thing, but you have to be able to keep up the activity for the long term too. So if you do those 5 things and you focus on improving your skills in prospecting and giving presentations, then you will absolutely become a rising star in a great opportunity if you've chosen your opportunity well. The only thing that stands in your way is your ability to push yourself to do those things. Now, that also applies to all of the things we talked about in the online business. The only thing that stands in your way of your ability, the only thing that stands in the way of your success in your online business is how much you're willing to push yourself to learn and apply those key skills that we talked about. The harder you do that, and the more you learn and the better you get, the more results you will get out of it. You have to have that knowledge because you're competing with the big boys now. So make sure that you're ready and able to do that, either in an online job or an online business. So I hope that you found all that information useful and that you've made a decision about which path is right for you. Do you want something with a very wide scope that you have complete control but are also complete responsibility for? Or do you want something where your role is more defined and where you have a particular set of skills that you need to focus on? You can earn 6 and 7 figures using either business model if that's what your goal is to do. It's making sure that you do the one that is right for you and right for what you want to put into the business. You can't straddle the paths. You need to commit and do whatever it takes to be successful. Um, so I also promised that I would show you how to get more help to be successful in either of these routes. So I've helped people personally on both of these paths for quite a few years, both people in network marketing and people starting their own online businesses. I've worked with beginners who haven't made their first dollar yet, right up to 6 and 7 figure earners. I know what people need to focus on at the different stages to be successful. And I have a couple of programs that are designed to give you a hand that I want to mention here tonight. And if you want help and motivation to move to the next level, then one of these is probably right for you. So, my first program that I wanted to talk about is my flagship program, which is my Inner Circle coaching group. So, new people coming into the Inner Circle are coming into a new version of the Inner Circle based on the last 2-3 years of working with my existing Inner Circle coaching clients, of which we have a few in here tonight. And now, the new redesigned program for 2019 will involve small groups of people, under 10 people, with similar businesses in a group coaching session. So we meet once per week live on Zoom, just like we are here tonight. And we do that for a 12-month period. So once a week in a small group. So I may teach a concept, and then we go around the group to everyone in the group, and we ask them what they're working on and what their challenges are. So, what went right this week? What was your win? I love the concept of wins. So, what was a win? What are you working on in the next week? And then what challenges do you face? And then both myself and the other group members can then help them to work through breaking through to that next level. And in the group setting, it's also great because it works as accountability. So, you know that you're going to have to get up in front of the group next week and you're going to have to tell them what you were working on. So that's going to help to keep you a little more focused. It sounds like pressure, but that is a good thing in this scenario because it's pressure to get things done. So that's kind of how that works out. Oh, and of course, everyone also gets a chance to ask their own questions in these live sessions, and I provide the guidance that you need to break through to that next level. And of course, if you miss a session, then they're recorded and they're at the same time for whatever group you're in every week. So that's my Inner Circle. And if you're interested in the Inner Circle small group coaching, then you can just send me an email at innercircle@quickstartcoach.com and we'll arrange a time to talk. We'll get on Zoom just like we are here now or on the phone. And at that time, we can determine if that is the right solution for you to help you be successful in either your online business or your online job. Now, last year, I launched another coaching and implementation program called the 90-Day Success Transformation. Go to there. So, in this program, you and I work together to identify the biggest bottlenecks that are holding you back from getting to the next level. We then come up with a plan and meet weekly to accomplish a specific goal over a 90-day period to move you forward to the next level. We figure out what thing is holding you back. Maybe you don't have a list that you're mailing regularly, or maybe you need a sales funnel set up, or maybe you want to add 1,000 people to your email list. Maybe you want to create an online course. I'm working with someone who's working on writing their first book, starting a podcast, creating a profitable social media advertising campaign. All of these are examples of a project that we could work on for that 90-day period. And then we come up with that goal of that project. And then we meet weekly one-on-one and take steps each week over the 90 days to make sure that whatever that was, start a podcast, add 1,000 people to your list, is done at the end of the 90 days. So you can take this major jump to get to the next level and break through that roadblock in that 90-day period by focusing solely on that one piece. So right now, this 90-day success transformation program is available to people in my audience at half price, and you get to become a case study for future groups. So I'm working with the first group of people that are going through the 90-day success transformation. And then you will see their case studies and their testimonials coming forward from the success that they had in accomplishing that goals. And as I said, I'm working with one client who were setting up sales funnels for his products in ClickFunnels. We're working with people to write a book, to build an email list, social media marketing. All of these things are examples of things that we're working on right now. So if you have something that you want to work on, or if you want to talk to me and figure out what is the thing that's holding you back, then the 90-day success transformation will absolutely get that roadblock blasted out of the way for you. So you can go to quickstartcoach.com/90day to get information or sign up for the 90-day success transformation program. So those are two programs that I'm currently offering in coaching to help people who want to really move forward faster with either their online business or with their online job or network marketing opportunity. So whether you choose to be involved in either of those or you want to continue to just work through a free training for me, I'm very happy to have you here and very happy to help. And of course, you can always schedule a one-on-one call with me anytime you want, so that I can offer you some advice to be able to uh, determine what the key things are you need to work on to move forward in your business. So I did also promise that I would give you an opportunity at the end to get the slides and the show notes. So if you send me an email to that same email address for the coaching, innercircle@quickstartcoach.com, and put slides in the subject line, then I will send them back to you and you can have the notes and the slides that go along with the webinar. This is also being recorded, as I mentioned, and we are doing good at keeping on schedule tonight. I'm getting better at that. And so there will be a recording available and be sent out to you probably tomorrow once I get this edited. So I guess we'll cut it at there. I appreciate everybody showing up tonight. Now you can go and have the rest of the evening to continue to work on your business, I hope.